Many people struggles with the question, why bad things always happen to good people and why these bad things always happen to me. If people concept of God is all powerful, all omniscience and all compassion, then why would he or she allow bad things happen to good people? Why would he allow a small baby to die a painful death? Now let's get back into the history. During the Enlightenment experience, Buddha saw that the process of becoming, of birth, old age and death was ultimately a circular process consisting of 12 links. Each link is the condition for the one following one from it. This process is referred to as dependent origination or conditioned arising. Dependent origination is one of the more initially difficult concepts of Buddhism. It refers to much more than just the cycle of life, death and rebirth. At its basis is the foundation for karma and the idea that all mental and physical phenomena are conditioned, that is, everything arises from various causes and condition. There is nothing that you can't point to that does not have some causes or condition for its existence, not only physical phenomena but also the mental states. Let us take first an example used by the Buddha himself. The Buddha has said that the flame in an oil lamp burns dependent upon the oil and the wick. When the oil and the wick are present, when the flame is introduced, the oil lamp burns. If either of these is absent, the flame will cease to burn. This example illustrates the principle of dependent origination with respect to a flame in an oil lamp. The fact that the flame ceases in the absence of the wick and oil is important. It relates directly to the Four Noble Truths and the cause of suffering. If we remove the cause of suffering, that is, craving, desire and attachment, then we end suffering. This is why the Buddha has says that he who sees dependent origination sees the Dharma, and he who sees the Dharma sees the Buddha. This is why the Buddha said that understanding dependent origination is the key to liberation. The flame in the oil lamp exists dependent upon the oil and the wick. When either of these are absent, the flame will be extinguished. Therefore, the flame is neither permanent nor independent. The fact that the flame ceases without the wick and the oil shows us the truth in the Four Noble Truths. When we cease our clinging, attachment and desire, then our suffering will also cease. If the flame could continue without the cause of the wick and the oil, then it would be self-existing and external. Likewise, if there was no flame, regardless of the wick and the oil, then that would be nihilistic. But because the flame is dependent, it also shows us that everything in our world is dependent upon causes, including ourselves. We are no different than the flame. We can see that this fixed, permanent idea of a self is an illusion because it is also dependent upon causes. There are 12 links, that is, ignorance, karmic actions, consciousness, body and mind, the sense impressions, feelings, craving, clinging, becoming, rebirth, old age and death. It all begins with ignorance. By ignorance, we are not talking about stupidity, but we are referring to not seeing the nature of reality as it really is. This refers to the fact that most of us blame others for our problem or our unhappiness, rather than seeing that the cause is our own mental state. Each of our lives are woven of karma. Each small thread we see is contained in a matrix of time and causality, a context of billions of threads that are beyond our vision. This leaves us with the responsibility of doing exactly what were the parting instructions of the Buddha. Work out your own salvation means to apply all of the teachings of the Buddha to every circumstance of our lives. Most of the causes and conditions that yielded this particular life that we lead are based on previous existence. What we are constrained to do then is to take what we are given and practice generosity and the rest and become a bodhisattva. But dependent origination means we have the choice to be stuck in ignorance, simply reacting to life in a knee-jerk sorts of way, or to practice the Dharma. If all is conditioned, then it is up to us. We can do have a choice. every moment. We can act and react in a way that reinforce our idea of a fixed permanent self, or we can embrace that all things are empty, including ourselves, and thus impermanent, and work to end the horrific suffering we cause ourselves and others and embrace the virtuous.